Hello, welcome to Self-Care Saturday. My name is Nancy. I'm a librarian at the Victory Branch Library. Today, we're going to do everything lavender. Lavender can be a really great part of your self-care routine. It is a powerful plant that has some wonderful properties to helps us with some clarity of mind and relaxation. How, you say? Well, we're going to get into that. So, what are some things that people use to talk about lavender? Some words associated with the use of lavender are calming, relaxing, soothing, promotes sleep, creates a sense of tranquility and serenity, elevates mood, relieves symptoms of depression and anxiety, relieves pain, enhances cognition, is an anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antioxidant, antiseptic. Wow, that's a lot going on for a little plant. The ancients used lavender for many things. They realized the power of this plant. It's been found in King Tut's tomb in jars that were used for his bathing. The Greeks used it as an oil for perfume. The Romans used it in their baths, you know, the Roman baths, and as an antiseptic and insect repellent. During the London Plague, people washed with vinegar containing lavender to ward off infection. It was a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I and Queen Victoria. They really raised it to a household standard for scenting your body and your home. Okay, so is there any science behind it? Any reasons to really believe that lavender has all this powerful effect on us? So scientists have done some studies, and I found two scholarly articles written. One was in 2013, and it's entitled Lavender and the Nervous System. It's an article from the National Center for Biotechnical Information, and it's basically an evidence-based paper for alternative medicine. And they start their abstract by saying, lavender is traditionally alleged to have a variety of therapeutic and curative properties, ranging from inducing relaxation to treating parasitic infections, burns, insect bites, and spasm. There is growing evidence suggesting that lavender oil may be an effective medicament in treatment of several neurological disorders. Several animal and human investigations suggest anti-anxiety, mood stabilizer, sedative, analgesic, neuroprotective properties for lavender. And this paper goes on to show the effects of lavender on the nervous system. Another study done in 2018 was about this part of the lavender plant. It's an alcohol that's derived from the lavender plant called linalool. And when it's breathed in, the linalool has an effect on the nervous system. And so they did a study with mice to see if the breathing in of this odor induced an anti-anxiety effect. And after their study, they found that linalool odor exposure induced anti-anxiety effects in mice. These findings give us a foundation towards clinical application of linalool odor for anxiety disorders. They're also talking about using it for preoperative patients to help calm them, and to use it for people that can't take anti-anxiety medications. So, some scientific reasons why linalool affects our bodies through our nervous system. Can produce an anti-anxiety effect, relaxation, feeling a sense of calm. Right, so really powerful. I want to read to you an account of a man who has really used lavender to overcome and self-soothe during traumatic events. Last year, I was looking through some books on people's writing about COVID-19. And I found this one. This is a newer book, and it's in our library. It's called Alone Together, Love, Grief, and Comfort in the Time of COVID-19. The woman who put this book together, Jennifer Hopt, asked writers around the country if they would donate an essay for a book project that she wanted to do to help save some of the independent bookstores that were really struggling. And so these folks contributed an essay to this book, and it's all the proceeds for its sale go to help independent bookstores. So that's a really cool project. But one article really got my attention, and this is written by a journalist and an activist. He's Salvadoran. His name is Roberto Lovato, and he talks about the use of lavender in his life, and his life was scary in parts. The name of his essay is Lavender and the Washing Away of Civilizational Ills. And so he talks about how he uses it with his father who has dementia and how he used it to soothe himself during some really traumatic events. So I'm going to read just a little bit of his essay. He starts it out with a few sentences from the Anne of Green Gables writer Lucy Montgomery, and this is from Anne's House of Dreams. Take off your tragic airs, my friend, and fold them up and put them away in lavender. You'll never need them again. Take off your tragic airs and fold them away in lavender. So this is how he starts his essay. Pop spends most of the COVID-19 crisis sitting in his favorite leather recliner, head tilted on his left shoulder while he sleeps. During his waking hours, now becoming fewer and farther between, he waves at neighbors, watches action movies, or curses at strange dudes trying to park in his driveway. Next to Pop's recliner is a glass table with water, candies from his native El Salvador, and one of my most important tools for coping with COVID-19 and the civilizational crisis it has exposed, lavender. At almost 98 years old, wheezing asthmatic Pop also suffers from dementia, a condition some studies say is improved by the neuroprotective effects of inhaled lavender. The lack of control and perpetual enclosure brought on by COVID-19 make Pop's dementia worse, sometimes in exponentially bad and violent ways that require the power of the evergreen shrubs, hoary gray-green leaves, and purple flowers hidden in the lavender solution. His dementia also makes him forget chunks of his life, like his childhood during a Great Depression in El Salvador that made the grapes of wrath look like a wine tasting. Pop's memory is also getting spotty about the bloody civil war in El Salvador in the 1980s, the decades of union struggles, and the life with and loss of his beloved wife, Maria Elena, my mom. Studies show that inhaling lavender oil helps children improve their ability to memorize a paragraph, and I secretly harbor the belief that it might hold out for Pop's memories too. I've long used lavender in daily rituals, shaving, applying facial cream, drinking lavender tea at La Boheme, my favorite coffee shop, to aid my own memory. Lavender reminds me of who I was before COVID-19, who I am, and who I aspire to be. Even before all of our lives changed in March, I used it to remind me of and carry me through the many civilizational calamities I've witnessed and overcome as a journalist and activist. And he's had some harrowing experiences here. When I visited El Salvador in the late 80s and early 90s during the civil war that left 80,000 dead, most of them murdered by the US-backed government, I brought lavender cream from a shop in San Francisco. The cream soothed my skin and calmed my nerves after seeing the effects of bombings and strafing on innocent civilians, including children. calmed his nerves after seeing this war. After I was pursued by death squads in El Salvador, lavender bubble baths were there for me. Wow. This hygienic practice dates back to the Romans, who named the divine plant lavandula, Latin for to wash. The irony of using the bathing ritual of the ancient imperium to wash away the evils of the contemporary empire never escaped me. More recently, lavender soap, lavender jade Buddhist prayer beads, and lavender eye pillows were part of the soothing rituals I used after my goddaughter and I were chased by gun-wielding Salvadoran gang members while we were saying goodbye to my mother in the small cemetery of her hometown in San Vincent. He was being chased by a gun-wielding gang, and lavender soap and lavender eye pillows help soothe him. That's powerful. Lavender has long been there for humanity, even when our civilization falls tragically short of our ideals. Salvadorans have long known about the decline of American civilization that some are now only discovering thanks to COVID-19. I have thought a lot about this during the 8-mile hikes that are my primary escape from the confines imposed on us by the epidemic. Along the way, I indulge in my source of great escape, hiking on urban trails lined with lavender, the same lavender I use in the hopes it helps my pop's past and my future. He goes on to say more about how lavender brought him together with a relationship, a romantic relationship later on in this writing. Wow, powerful, soothing properties. That's a really strong case for how lavender can help you feel better in difficult times. So there are lots of ways that you can get lavender into your life. Now, according to the reading and according to the science, smelling it is the most effective way. So getting it in through your nose, through your senses, that way. So yes, you can use lavender lotions and you can use lavender candles. I have a lavender candle here. You can use lavender sachets. There's lots of ways to get it. Diffusers are really a big way of getting it in. It's putting it into water and letting it mist. So I'm going to show you a diffuser that I like. So this is a little portable diffuser that has a USB attachment. So this can go into your computer, to your laptop. It also fits in your car if you have a USB port in your car, and this little cup fits in your cup holder. It's really cool. So I'm going to plug it in here to the computer, and it already has a little bit of water in it. You're going to want filtered water or distilled water. You don't want there to be a lot of mineral in it, because when it evaporates, it will leave behind a residue that will get kind of clogged up. So you need to put in a little bit of essential oil. So a really important thing about lavender oil is that you need to have it be pure lavender oil. It needs to be 100% lavender oil that's been distilled from the lavender plant. If it's from the drugstore and it costs $5.99, it probably has synthetic ingredients, which is not going to have that really strong linalool property. So make sure it's 100% lavender essential oil. And I'm just going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 drops. And put the lid back on. Push the little start button. And this will start to blow a stream of mist that is lavender infused. And what I love about this little device is it's got this little light show for you. It's really nice when you're driving at night. It gives you this fun little light show. So this is just a really nice little device that you can use at your desk, in your car, and make your drive home a lot more pleasant. Another a little product that I like are these plugins. They have a heating element right here. When you plug it in, this little pad warms up, and then you put the essential oil on these little inserts. You can put as much as you want. What I like to do with these little plug-ins is a mixture of lavender oil and peppermint oil. Peppermint has a real cooling, fresh essence, and it's really nice with lavender. So you just insert it in here and then just plug it in. You can use these all over your house. What I like about these is I oftentimes forget to add water to my diffuser, and so it's just dry. This one I can kind of forget about, and it's there for a little while. It lasts a little longer. So those are some really nice ways that you can get the scent. You need to get the scent. The way to get it into your body is through your nose. So some really nice ways that you can breathe in the essence of lavender. There are lots of resources out there for you to find ideas how to use lavender in your life. I found this book at our library, Lavender, A Heritage Book of Creative Ideas. This has recipes, it has the history of lavender, how to grow lavender, how to make it into gifts, body products, home cleaning products. One thing about lavender oil, one caveat, is that if you want to make lavender oil, it does need to be distilled. It's a special process, it's kind of complicated. So you may just want to buy really high quality lavender oil and then do all your little products with it. It doesn't take much, it's very potent. One thing about where we live in the southwest part of Idaho is that lavender grows really well here. It loves our climate. It's pretty good growing most places. It doesn't like a hot, humid climate, but it likes our dry, hot, sunny climate. And so you'll see it all over the region used in landscaping. It's a beautiful landscaping plant, but it's easy to grow. It's very fuss-free. It doesn't need much. And you can find it in any nursery or garden store. Just get yourself a pot of lavender, put it in a pot or put it in the ground at home, and you'll be able to reap benefits from it really soon. It doesn't take long. And another benefit from living in a region that grows lavender really well is that there are lavender farms in our area. And the lavender season is really summer to midsummer, and you can go pick your own lavender. A lot of these farms have products for sale, all kinds of things you can buy that have lavender in them. I got these two varieties of lavender from the Lavender Merchant 2 summers ago, which is based in Kuna. And at the end of this little session, I'll have some resources at some other farms in Idaho to go and pick it. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's fragrant, it makes you feel so good. So I hope that you have enjoyed learning a little bit more about the wonderful benefits of lavender. I hope that you make it part of your self-care routine and find some really wonderful ways to use it in your life and in your home. Thank you so much, and I hope that you take care, friend.